Hello, welcome to Berks Nature and You. My name is Tami Shimp. I'm Vice President for Development and Community Relations at Berks Nature. And before I introduce my guest, I'd like you to take a minute to think about water. This is something we don't often think about, but Berks Nature works hard every day to help our partners keep our water healthy for our community. So where does it come from when you turn on your faucet? And what goes into sending that to your home to make it healthy? I'm proud to have Jesse Goldberg here with us today. Jesse is an environmental specialist for Miller Environmental and serves as a consultant for Reading Area Water Authority. So welcome, Jesse.
Hi, Tami.
So again, water is not something that many of us think about at all. I might be the exception to that because of dealing with it every day, but we really do take the resource for granted, and we just know it'll be there to brush our teeth and take a shower and cook spaghetti and wash the car. But you know better than anyone that there's a lot that goes into sending that to our homes in a healthy and safe way. And I'd love for our viewers to learn a little bit more about that and think about where the water resources come from. So you're an expert with Reading Area Water Authority as a consultant. I know firsthand from tour you took me on that you know a lot about the whole process. So RAWA, Reading Area Water Authority is referred to as RAWA, has about 125,000 customers.
Right.
Okay, can you tell us a little bit about where that water comes from? And then we'll kind of talk about how it gets into our viewers' homes and why they need to care.
Sure, absolutely. The water that people get in the city of Reading comes from Lake Ontelaunee, which is located about 7 miles north of the city of Reading. Lake Ontelaunee is fed by the Maiden Creek Watershed, which is it's over 200 square miles and actually extends up into Lehigh County, just east of New Tripoli, the New Tripoli area. So it's a good-sized watershed. The water that flows through it eventually ends up in Lake Ontelaunee, where it is pumped it's from a gatehouse at Lake Ontelaunee, which is located adjacent to Route 73. The water flows along Maiden Creek to the water treatment plant, which is located on Berkeley Road in Ontelaunee Township.
Okay, so you actually pull the water, this has to be in Tami words here, pull the water from the lake, and then it runs in a
big pipe,
right? All the way to Berkeley Street where it's treated.
Correct.
Okay.
Right.
And what, in a nutshell, without being too technical, what is that process like? I mean, what's it treated for? What are things people should know?
The water that comes into the water treatment plant, there's a lot of particles that are in it that need to be taken out. There's a chemical process that's used to remove a lot of the particles in the water. Basically, the process is settling, which settles out a lot of the material that enters, and it's filtered through sand filters, and it is also disinfected with chlorine to kill any bacteria that's in the water prior to putting it into the distribution system for residents, for consumers.
Okay, wow. So it leaves that facility in a pipe.
Right.
And is literally piped into our homes and schools and churches and...
That's correct. There are water reservoirs located throughout the city. People have probably seen them. There's a large one over near Angelica Park. It sits on top of a hill. There's other water storage tanks throughout the city that hold finished water for people to utilize. So some people have direct, they turn their faucet on and it comes right out of a pipe, or it comes from a water tank located throughout the city. So they get it, nice clean water from from the water treatment plant.
How many gallons roughly are treated daily at the plant?
Presently, the water treatment plant is processing 14 or 15 million gallons of water every day. Wow. For the public to consume, both residents and industry as well.
Wow. So Berks Nature, one of our goals is to help our residents and the community understand this connection, that your water just doesn't come out of the spigot. It comes from a local lake affected by local activity in the watershed. It's treated carefully, it's sent to your home, and if you live in the city or immediately surrounding the city in certain suburbs, you are likely a customer of the Redding Area Water Authority. Is that correct?
Right.
Okay. I believe it's about 40% of us in Berks County get water from a well. If you're the other 60%, you get your water from a provider and through a very similar process that Jesse just explained, where they pull water from a local resource, treat it, and send it to your home. The well water people need to think about getting their water tested. And that's something you have to do on your own as a landowner. So there's not any mandates. There's not someone like RAWA looking out for you. That's something that I encourage homeowners to do if they have a well. Is that something that Miller Environmental sees a lot of or deals with?
Not directly. However, Redding Area RAWA, we also operate two other water systems that supply water to North Heidelberg Township and also to the industrial complex in Bethel Township. Those two systems are groundwater systems. So we have wells at those locations that supply the drinking water for the residents in North Heidelberg and for the industrial complex in Bethel Township.
So that's interesting. Bethel Township, it seems so far away from the city, yet they're able to supply water across there. And that kind of triggers me to think about our role as a partner is encouraging people to learn where your water comes from. So if you're watching this video, learn where your water comes from. Not many people know that answer, unfortunately. If you're the one that pays the bills in your household, you probably know who you're writing that monthly check to for clean and safe water. But where do they get their water from? So now RAWA, as we just explained, pulls their water from Lake Ontelaunee. There are a lot of other water suppliers that pull their water from different resources. So my challenge to the general public is really give it some thought, learn who your supplier is, learn where they're getting their water from, and perhaps in a future segment we can talk about the details of what goes into keeping that water supply safe and what kinds of pollutants do we see here in Berks County. So learn where your water comes from. We have a great resource on our website. It's berksnature.org. And there's an Inside Our Watersheds map. It's an interactive map. You can see where you live and learn a little bit more about where your water might come from. Jesse, is there any advice to give to people of how they can make a difference right now?
Sure. There's always things that the public can do to help keep water resources clean. That can be anything from not disposing of your used medicals, pills, medicine down the toilet. Those type of things are not removed at a wastewater treatment plant. If you change the oil in your car and you have your car out on the street, please do not dump your waste oil down a storm drain, since that does not lead to a treatment plant. That leads to a creek or a river. That's just two examples of the many things that the public can do to keep water resources clean.
Great. We can all make a difference. Thank you, Jesse, for your time. And thank you for watching us here at Berks Nature and You.
If you'd like to learn more about Berks Nature, please join us at www.berksnature.org.